with the MSW program at Community Hospice, and today we are going to be making paper pumpkins. And I have all of the material here. We have scissors, we have a hole puncher, we have pen, we have a ruler, glue, we have the paper and the stapler and also the tape, and we have some wire stems here as well. And to begin, we are going to be using the ruler and your paper. So you're going to place it right in front of you. You're going to grab your pen and you are going to use the inches on your ruler to go ahead and separate so that you can do the cutting afterwards. So I'm going to mark my inches one by one. I am going to start cutting now. Go all the way across, and you'll have your first strand. Now that we are done cutting our strips, we're going to go ahead and make sure that we have 5 strips all together. And we are going to place them actually, so with the picture on the front, you're going to place the strip to the bottom side, and individually I'm going to make a cross first. So it's going to look like that first, and then I'm going to put one across diagonally, and then I'm going to place another one to the left side, also diagonally. And I'm going to do my best to try and keep it evenly distributed. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm just going to go back and make sure that it's all divided into a nice space that's equal. And so once it looks like this, I'm going to make sure that I grab my stapler, and I'm going to actually staple the center where all the strips are at. So that will be the first step that we do once we grab. So I'm going to grab all of them, and so you're going to do your best to really just keep them as together as you can. It may be a little bit hard, but just do your best. And I'm going to bring it to the side because I think that's going to be the easiest way. And so just like this. And I'm always going to try to grab it through the center. So it's going to look like this. And you can always maneuver it a little bit as you desire, because sometimes it does move a little bit like that. And I'm going to just move it around a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to grab it like this, and I'm going to grab the stapler. And so what you want to do is bring the stapler in nicely together like this, and right in the center. As soon as you get it all in there in the middle, then you're going to staple it. So right here. So when you turn it around, you can see that the design is actually on the back. But now we're going to flip it around like this, and you're going to place it on the table. And just another option also, if you don't have a stapler, you can also use glue. So what I did can all be done with the glue. So you would just have to make sure that you have the glue on each strand individually as you place it over the other one. Okay? Okay, so we're going to move on to the next step, and I'm going to work with half of the side first. I'm going to grab each strand individually, and I'm going to bring it up with with my fingers on this side. I'm going to actually grab them, and that way with the other hand I can grab the rest of them individually. And so I'm only going to do half, like I said, because that will be easier when it comes to stapling it, which is what I'm going to be doing just shortly. So going to grab this side, and I'm going to staple it in through the middle. And you may have to staple a couple times, which is okay because there are a lot of different strands that you have to get to. And after that, I'm going to grab the ones that are extra over here, and I'm just going to keep doing what I was doing before. So let's start with just the 2 more added. And then another one. And then keep turning it. You can place your fingers in the gaps, and that will help you turn each strand around. And so just like that, make sure it's evenly. That's perfect. So then you're just gonna go ahead and staple it. And then just the last one, okay? So we're gonna grab this and then place it in the middle and just kind of make your way in there. So just like that. And I'm gonna add another one just to make sure it's secured. And that is your pumpkin there. So you're gonna turn it around like this, and it's gonna be a little bit higher, so you're just gonna wanna, just play with it a little bit so that you can get it to a lower level. So now we're gonna move on to the next step. We're gonna grab the hole puncher, and just like I said, so through a little gap, just make sure that you can place it in there. So we're gonna put it in. And you may have to work through a different corner depending on how much room you have. So right here, and then bring it out. And I'm gonna cut off with the scissors. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut off, we'll say about half of it, okay? So we're gonna cut that piece, and we're gonna place it in the center again. And we are going to bend it a little bit from the inside, putting my fingers in through the side. Just like that. And we're gonna need the tape for this next part, okay? Okay, so the next step is going to be working with the tape. So I'm gonna grab just a little tiny piece of tape here, and maybe about that size, just very minimal, not too much. And through one of those gaps in the middle that we have here, this is a good one to work with, we're just gonna place a little bit of tape on the bottom of the stem just to help it stay still. So I'm gonna work with this side and then just put the tape inside just to basically just place it against it like that. And then straighten up the stem on the top. And then that'll keep it from, being a little bit straighter, just like that. Okay, so moving on to the next step, I'm going to grab the fussy wire that I have here. And so what I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna use my finger, and I'm going to just wrap it around just like this, just kind of like little circles around my finger. And so it's easier using this one here, the index finger, and then it'll just make a curl like this. So if you guys can see, just like that. And so I'm gonna wanna make two different ones. So I'm gonna grab the other one, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna wrap it around, and you'll have your two. So this is what it will look like, and that will be placed on the top of the pumpkin, okay? Okay, and so the final step to make your pumpkin, you're going to grab these. We just created them right now, so these fuzzy wires, and we're going to place them next to the stem here. So I'm going to just make sure that I grab the pumpkin and bring this really close to the stem like this. And I'm gonna grab this stapler, and I'm going to place it in between right here, and then just hold it down as much as you can, just to make sure that it secures in place. So just like that, and then I'm gonna staple it. And then I'm gonna just bring the wire, the stem wire right there in the middle, and then we just have one more to go. And we'll do the same exact thing to the other side. So, and I always point it this direction towards the front. It just helps when you're going to staple it. And then right underneath it. Just like that. And then you have it. And just like this, you have your pumpkin.